afternoon, folks. This is Tuesday, April the 18th. The weekly meeting was for the Frankfort Optimist Club at the Office Pub and Deli. We meet each Tuesday. Good to see everyone. And today we have a program scheduled, and I'm going to ask Sharon Jackson to please come forward and introduce our speaker.
Not there, never mind. Jimmy's already said it, but good afternoon to everyone. And I am really pleased to introduce our speaker for this afternoon. As a matter of fact, I got him for my speaker prior to someone asking him to be a member of our club, and we have successfully gotten both. He's a member of our club now. He's going to be speaking to us here in a few minutes, but Reverend Dr. Rosby Glover is a critical piece in our community. He ministers at First Baptist Church here in Frankfort. And the key here is that he communicates with and is engaged and involved with members of our community. He's got his finger on the pulse of our community in terms of the things that we need to be addressing, particularly with our youth. And of course, people like me who have joined the seniors organization.
Surely not.
Yeah. And one of the things that he did once he came into Frankfort is to help establish a program called Unity in the Community, in which all of the organizations in Frankfort and etc. have been invited to participate in. It's a Saturday morning and early afternoon program where people within the community are informed and asked and invited to come out to the little parking lot right there beside First Baptist Church to meet others in the community whose goal and objective is to establish programs and activities in our community to support and enhance the growth of our youth. And I asked him if he wouldn't mind coming and talking with us about the history and the goals and objectives of the program Unity in the Community, and place before you, the Optimist Club, an option and opportunity to participate. And the program will happen in June, I believe. He'll give us that information. So without further ado, we'll ask Dr. Rosby to come forward and speak with us.
Great.
I promise you I'm not going to deliver a sermon. Thank you, Sharon, for that introduction. And basically, you've told everyone about unity in the community, but I'm going to give you the history of it and how it came about when I first came back to Frankfort 2 years ago. So the program itself has been in existence for 2 years. It's really not a program, it's an event. It's a major event. I'll tell you, basically, when I first came back, I noticed something. I noticed that the community was, in my opinion, a little disjointed, if you will. I was concerned that there were no meaningful connections from my perspective, from the church and the community. And you have to know my background to know how I feel about the church and the community. See, I don't think that church is just every Sunday. I don't think the church is Sunday worship and then Wednesday Bible study and that's it. The church is more than that. We are the church. The church expands out into the community. And I'm saying that, well, what do we do to bring the community together? How do we know what services are out there available for the community? And someone said, well, we do Vacation Bible School together with 1 Corinthians and St. John. So I reached out to them, and I named us the Trinity. I said, okay, we're the Trinity, and we're gonna do this thing. And they said, well, what are we doing? I said, we're gonna bring the community together. We're gonna have outreach events. We're gonna have all types of things for the children, the whole 9 yards. So how are we gonna do that? Well, we're gonna depend on God, but we're gonna get it done. So first year, it was basically us, but that wasn't my vision, just for us to get together. I said, no, this expands farther than us, much wider than us. They say, well, Memorial Baptist Church, usually is where we had a Vacation Bible School. I said, well, let's invite them to the table. Let's bring them to the table. And then I met Dr. Felton down at First Baptist, and I said, you all have to join us. And then I got my dear friend here who knows everybody in the community. And I said, I'm turning this over to you. We need to invite everybody. I want them, this is what I envision. I envision us having a day in the parking lot out with under the tent where we eat together. We have volunteers to give us food for the whole thing, and volunteers being restaurants. Not folks cooking at home and bringing it out there. You know, we have some of these restaurants to volunteer engage because we're going to get our youth out here. We're not only going to get our youth out here, we're going to get our adults out here together. And guess what? We're going to break bread together under the big tent. But we're also going to find out what opportunities are out there for everyone. If you want to know more about the NAACP, come there because they're going to be there. They're going to have a table there. If you want to know more about health services there, come there because we're going to have the health services, the health department there. And God bless it so much, not only did we have the health department, we had UK's whole Sanders Brown Center for Aging to come out, and they did all of the testing that we needed. We found out that there were so many people that walking around with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, ready to fall over at any time and did not even know it. So we got all of that done for free. If you want to know about black fraternities and organizations, they were there. And they had games for everybody. Well, you want to know about community policing. I had the police department there to talk to the kids, to let them know that police are your friend. And we, so we just had a great time together. And each year it gets larger and larger. And all we do is give the information out. They bring the brochures. They bring any prizes they want to give out. We give the kids bicycles, backpacks. I'm envisioning that later we're going to be able to give them scholarships to Kentucky State and encourage all of our kids to come together as one. So we got a lot of the black churches and white churches now coming together, bringing their youth ministries out as well to volunteer and do some of the work around there. Snow cone machines, running the popcorn machine, any of that. But the whole goal is for us to come together as a community because we need to come together now more than ever before. Mm-hmm. Because if you notice what's going on now, we're becoming more and more segregated again. It's almost like we're reliving the 60s. I grew up in the 60s, and I know how it was. And I grew up in the segregated South. Now this, Kentucky is really not the South as far as I'm concerned. It's more like the Midwest, but, say it's South. But I grew up in Georgia, down in Georgia, in the South, and I know what segregation is and what it can do. When they integrated all the schools down there were so many black people, we still had to have a black school, an all-black school. But that's right, I was supposed to get a laugh out of that. But my point is that we can't afford to go back. We can't afford to go back. And we're allowing this climate right now to take us back. I mean, I was hurt, very hurt. An 85-year-old white man shoots a young black kid because they rung the wrong doorbell. Police gets off black and white for shooting young black kids running. Nobody's held accountable for anything. All we're talking about more than instead of talking about coming together as one, we're talking about separating more and more. And we can't go down that road again. We just cannot go down that road again. We're going to have to stand up, and we're going to have to stand up together. It's not a black and white issue. It's a we issue. All of us. And we're going to have to come together as one. And that's what I see. I see an opportunity for all of us to at least break bread and then recognize that we have more in common than we have that's not in common with each other. You know, out of the community, unity and community, we fellowship now with First Baptist downtown, St. Clair. You know, we had a come to Jesus moment, if you will. And I got a letter from Dr. Felton when he recognized that the whole thing with the Singing Bridge. So he stopped calling it First Baptist Singing Bridge, if you notice. It's First Baptist on St. Clair now because of the hangings that took place down there off of the Singing Bridge. He didn't want to be affiliated with that. I thought that was great. And we sat down, we had Bible study together. The two churches came together, had Bible study, broke bread together. And we just became great friends throughout that whole process. And that's what it's about, opening it up to everybody, letting everybody know that everyone counts. I wanted to do this little exercise. I said, you know what, why don't you just take a piece of paper out and write down this word, or just keep it in your mind. These two words: united and untied. United and untied. U-N-I-T-E-D, united. U-N-T-I-E-D, untied. Now, what's the difference in those two words? The only difference in those two words is the placement of the letter I. So which one will you be? Who are you going to be? Are you going to be a person that's united? Or are you going to be a person that's untied, where anything goes? Now, I'm going to let Debbie talk to you about what we're doing this year, some of the events that we're going to have. The event is scheduled for June the 10th, and that's from 10 to 2. And we have free, well, you can tell them about the haircuts and everything else we do. Yes?
You were talking about shootings happening across America. Mm-hmm. Don't you think there should be some gun control?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
And
I just think we've gone too far when we start putting guns before people. Period. You know, I'm a gun enthusiast myself. I like guns, but I know how to use it. I don't need an AR-15. What do I need an AR-15 for? You know, if you're going to hunt something with the AR-15, you're going to shoot up your food because it's going to tear it apart. You know, so what do we really need it for? Where did that come from? Where did we even get that idea that we have to be weaponized in order to exist? And I didn't want to go down that road because
don't you think it's political fear-mongering?
It's a whole lot of that going on.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of that going on, and I think that for some reason, I don't know how we got there, but some reason we've gotten to the point where we think that the minority population doesn't deserve the same thing as the majority population. And the minority population is less than the majority population. I think a lot of it came from, which was the origin of this fear-mongering, I believe, is the fact that this whole report that in a few years, the majority is going to become the minority. And it's got to the point where they say, oh no, that's not going to happen. So what we have to do now, we've got to arm ourselves. Arm ourselves for what?
So many times people behave because they're afraid that they're going to be treated the way they've treated people.
That's what I'm talking about. And that's that whole majority becoming the minority. Now they're saying, well, I'm not gonna witness what I just put them through. I'm not gonna let them put me through the same thing that I put them through. And that's what you're talking about. But it's a mindset, and it's a
little bit of a flip side to that, though, is that the minority ruling the majority by wanting to have guns. Not everybody wants to. Most people here don't want to have an assault rifle. Everybody I know doesn't really want to have one that I know of. But there's a few that want to protect gun rights. But then there's a whole lot of us that don't want those guns shooting their kids.
I understand what you're saying, but then my question to you is then why would you back organizations that support nothing like but the purchase of guns and being able to protect yourself?
Like what you all are trying to tell us about, and would love to hear some more.
I'm sorry.
I said we'd love to hear some more about what you all have.
Okay, yeah, because we can go down the road on gun violence for a while. That's for sure. But my whole thing is that we have to come together as a community, as one, and recognize that I didn't want to get political because I'm not a political person. I just speak what God tells me to speak, and that's the fact that we have to come together as one, because either we're going to be united or we're going to be torn apart. And right now we're on the road of being torn apart. So let me tell you about unity in community a little more. Debbie.
Thank you all. Last year is when I got involved with it, and had a team from First Baptist, and like Pastor said, with Memorial Baptist and Corinthian and St. John's, and we would meet. So we decided that what we were going to do this year, since it went over so good last year, because we had like 250 something people that registered and that came through. But our goal this year is to get more kids involved. So we have talked to some of the Frankfort youth football coaches, trying to get them to bring their kids out. Last year we had talked to some kids not to kids, but to the coaches at Frankfort High, but they didn't turn out. So we want to get more kids involved. So what we are doing, we have so far that we have gotten our, KSU has helped us a lot. We have gotten tents from them to set up for the food and for the vendors. We have gone around in the community. I think some of you all have probably knocked, I think I talked to you, Tish, and just taking letters out, trying to get the community to get involved. And that's what we did last year. Also, restaurants, we have gone to restaurants, we've sent letters to restaurants, and they have helped us dearly by donating food or just donating gift cards to give away. Everything that we receive, we give away. We keep nothing. This year, we're trying to get the National Guard to come and set up those big nets for the kids to climb on. We've got the Capital City Activity Center that is going to come and get involved with setting up games for the kids. In the back of the parking lot, we're trying to set that whole back up as a fun time for kids to come and just get on games and stuff. We're asking vendors to come and bring games to participate with the kids. Also, the Paul Sawyer Library will be coming and doing storytelling and games, and we'll have bouncy houses and just all kinds of things for kids to do. And then the vendors that come and set up, we ask that they give things away, and then there'll be a period in the time that we're there that each vendor will get up and tell a little bit about their business, just kind of networking. We'll have snow cones. We're trying to get the ice cream place downtown, I think it's Hoggies, to come and just give ice cream. We've got Chick-fil-A involved. They're coming, and they're going to set up and give food. Little Caesars is going to be donating us pizzas. So we're wanting to give away bicycles. The VFW post is going to help us with that, but we're trying to give away about 25 to 30. Last year we gave away, I think, 10 bicycles, but this year we want to double it. So we are needing funding on trying to get that together so we can give bicycles away. The city is helping us with golf passes and tickets to get into the swimming pool for kids. The community has been great at helping us. I mean, when we went around last year, I mean, they helped us so much, and they're doing it again this year. So we're really excited, and it's good just to bring everybody together and just see everybody laughing, having a good time, and kids just playing and just having fun. And that's what it's all about, to bring everybody together. So,
Unity in the community. It can happen, and that's what we're doing.
Quick question.
yes, sir.
If the Optimist Club wanted to be a part of it, is there a application form process that needs to be followed? Is there a fee to set up the table? What kind of information would you suggest that the Optimist Club bring?
Okay.
Where the Optimist Club's goal and objective in life is to benefit the youth of our community. And so they would fit right in, but
Okay.
they really don't know.
There's not a fee to set up. If you do set up, you would contact me, and we would set up a table for you, or if you have your own table or tent, you would bring that. Like I said, this year we're asking the vendors to kind of participate in doing games for kids, because we're really trying to expand that area this year. So if you wanted to do that, it would be appreciative. Also, you can set up a table and give out information about the Optimist Club. So it's really up to what you would like. I mean, we're really trying to expand the game thing. We really are, for the children.
Just remember that there's no fee at all to set up and to come and volunteer. But Sharon is definitely correct when you talk about it just fits like a glove, because when I first came to my first meeting, I didn't know what to expect from the Optimist, but as I stayed here and heard what we were all about, everything, I said, oh my God, fits perfectly with what we're trying to do, is to make sure that we stay engaged and get our kids involved. The event Thursday night is going to be awesome. I just feel it already. And we're just looking forward to working with you on anything we can do. If you have businesses that you operate and would like to donate from that business, that we gladly accept the donations, because as Deborah said, it goes to the kids.
Right.
Goes to the families in need. Yes, sir.
I'm not a business, but I'm a big bicycle enthusiast.
Good.
I'll give you $100 for a bicycle, and I want to challenge the Optimist Club to match it and give $100 as well toward a bicycle. So I'll just throw that out there for everybody.
Thank you so
I
much.
have my cards up here where you can mail your checks, call us.
Let me have, why don't you pass over?
And we can go from there. Go ahead, Debbie. You finish talking.
Okay. So, I mean, that's pretty much what we do. If you all have any questions, I'll try to
Meet
answer.
with me after this. I have a national guard contact for you.
Okay, thank you.
Lieutenant Colonel, and she's like the PR person out there, so I bet she can help you.
Thank you.
And you might,
On social media page where I can go and look in front of the chair or.
Yes, it'll be on our church website.
Okay.
Thank
Something
you.
that would be really good for you all is to set up an event, Facebook event, that you could share, have your congregation share, have all the people in all the congregations share, and share it to some of the, like, Frankfort moms pages and stuff like that. Just a
Okay.
thought, you know, because you're trying to get to as many kids as you can.
Right. Okay,
There's like Free in Frankfort and all these different places that you can share.
thank you.
and just for the record, for those who might watch us, that we'll see you. You might want to share a number, a telephone number that they might call to ascertain more information and, well, but
With a camera.
What's the church? What's the church? Okay, if you would like to get involved in unity in the community, please call First Baptist Church, Frankfort, at area code 502-223-5152.
Would you repeat that, please?
502-223-5152. Thank you. Yes, Deborah Bobbitt.
Great meeting, and that fits right in with our mission here. Debbie, would you come back, both of you? We appreciate the work you all are doing, and can't thank you enough, because we need more and more of this type of activity for our young people alike. And I would like to leave you with our Optimist glass as a remembrance of being with us today. And I believe you'd make a pretty good optimist. And here's our creed that we're gonna recite here in a minute. So
Okay.
I'm gonna leave you with that.
Thank you so much.
And Dr. Glover, I'm gonna do the same with you. You
Thank
probably memorized our creed.
I'm learning it. Thank you all so
Good to
much.
see you. All right, next week, Sharon has invited Miss Carla Carter, UK Cooperative Extension Program.